wanted to make a narrative. I come from documentary and commercial filmmaking, and I was kind of like hunting for a short to do. And I also I had moved to London. I went through a bunch of like personal stuff with my family and loss, and kind of like came here for a new start. And so I was looking for a way to tell a story about that, but not specifically about that. And I read a article about these Yazidi girls who stopped talking after they were rescued, and I just found that really fascinating. I'm really interested in, like trauma and how it affects us and how it shapes us. And then I saw this movie Capernaum, this amazing movie, and somehow those ideas just gelled together, and I just started thinking about the idea for the film. Family is a big one. I like I said, I've been through this unique experience of sort of having lost my family, my parents and my sister, and then starting a new family. So I've kind of like gone through that experience, which is obviously transformative, and Vest definitely deals with that. Deals with like um, how how families communicate, and how families work, where there's love, but there's also tension and anger, and it's that sort of elastic relationship that families have, that I wanted to explore. And I wanted to kind of take that family feeling, so a family that's kind of dysfunctional, and I wanted to sort of translate that into a wider, uh, or sort of run that through a kind of wider lens, like a societal lens. The film has this kind of twist in it, and so it was this idea of doing what I've dubbed a family thriller. Because it's sort of trying to combine that internal feeling of family, but into a thriller, right? And the things that you need to have a thriller work. And that's what I'm trying to do in the film. It's a lot for a short. It's 12 minutes. It's probably too much, it's, in some ways, but that's what I'm attempting to do. I mean, they were both amazing to work with. Afraz has hardly done any acting. He was in Mogul Mowgli very briefly. He hardly made it into. That's how I found him, through the director of that film. And I mean, it was just insane. I mean, I hardly had to do anything with him, honestly. And we did a lot of rehearsing, but he kind of came in like that. He just got it right away. And I literally hardly had to say anything to him. I mean, it was just crazy. He was so natural, and just stoic, but still emoting. So it's just like the perfect thing. I mean, it was incredible. Um, and with Sarah, I think she came in, and yeah, I just saw her right away. I was like, oh, that's her, right? And in the role, she has said, she relates to it a lot. Herself has a similar backstory to what I imagine this character would have, and she was amazing to work with as well, because her level of commitment to the role and to the character, and to just everything we were doing, to the process. We spent a lot of time on building rapport. We went on a trip. We went to the beach together I wanted to create a family dynamic. So we took all the actors, we went to the beach and just like had fun at the beach. You're sort of building sense memory by doing that, right? And then we did a lot of rehearsing. We rehearsed on set. Just wanted to really, have that, have what we show be the iceberg, right? But there's a lot of material underneath that. Um, and she was so committed to that. It always takes a lot longer than you expect it to. It was about a year. Uh, the actual writing process was pretty fast, actually. And I kind of committed to getting it done. So I think I got the original idea in March, and it was in the can by, say, August. And that was just a kind of a commitment that I made to myself, so that I'm just gonna do this. It doesn't matter. And there's always a lot of stuff that goes wrong when you're trying to make a film. Like my DP, he bailed, like the original DP, like 1 week before he was supposed to shoot. But I was able to find Fraser, which turned out to be great. But it's always a roller coaster, especially on a short, when your people are, a lot of people aren't getting paid or anything like that. People are doing it for the love of the project and for storytelling. So it was about a year, and I ended up working with just some incredible artists across the board, to help me do it. Writing is difficult. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm coming at writing from the directing point of view, from a storytelling point of view. I don't sort of consider myself like a natural writer. But I'm more comfortable with it now after doing Best. But I think at that time I was like, still learning that craft. It's really a craft, and it takes a long, long time to be good at. So I think in many ways, like, the hardest part of making Best was like not making Best. It was like all the stuff that you have to sort of fight against to be able to make it. I think that's the biggest challenge. And then working with like the edit is obviously very difficult just to get right. All that stuff is challenging. I mean, there's a lot of things. The shoot, there's always challenges on the shoot. Money in a short film, money is always an issue. And trying to get the money together is always a challenge. Just yell at them. No, I mean, it's obviously really important. I mean, there's levels of crew. There's your sort of key collaborators, and then there's the crew on the day, and it's about mutual respect and just not being a dick. And I think just keeping your head straight on what's important, what your objective is for whatever you're doing. And it's easy to get sidetracked in a film set environment. Like, it's just there's just a lot of different stuff going on, so you have to kind of compartmentalize and try to be as human as you possibly can. It's not, it's difficult. It's not always possible. I worked with a great crew. Like, I really had a great crew, from the PAs to the top people. So I'm pretty lucky in that sense. Yeah, hugely. I mean, in commercials, I've had the opportunity to really hone my craft as a director, and also understand compressed filmmaking, compressed storytelling, and just how much you can do in a short space, because I work in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 90 seconds. It's not a lot of time, but I manage to, when I have the chance, uh, tell a story with a beginning, middle, and end, hopefully. So it's taught me, um, also just about technical things, like just what works in terms of creating emotion, or rhythm. Just the importance of rhythm and emotion. It's such a key thing. Rhythm and tempo in how you shoot something just is going to, it's almost like you're playing somebody, like a string instrument, right? That's what the rhythm does in a moving image. It allows you to sort of control people's, experience of the film. And commercials have taught me that, because I've been able to make commercials that have, emotion in them, and so I've definitely brought that into the storytelling that I do outside of that. I am working on something now, that is a TV series that I have in development, and it's yeah, it's called Migrants, and it's sort of loosely based on, some personal experiences I've had, and also my parents. Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for showing the film, and the nominations and everything. And I wish you all the best in your inaugural year, and it's great to be a part of the festival.